Hey team, hope you're well. I had really good question. If I use protein powders, what do I think about it? And yeah, what is my take on that? So first of all, when I used to work in the gym, I used to drink protein shake every single day. And to be fair, I had a bit of even fear that if I stopped the protein shakes or stopped taking BCAA, I will lose all my gains. And I must admit, I was wrong. When I stopped protein shakes, nothing, absolutely nothing. Doesn't mean it's pointless and useless, absolutely not. But the way how I started looking at it was kind of change. So here's some pros, kind of why it's good for you. So first of all, it's super convenient. So if you're on the go, if you have busy lifestyle, a lot going on, sometimes grabbing protein shake can be easy way to like have a snack or something. Yeah. Also, if you're really struggling to hit the protein through the diet, again, this could be easy, convenient way to bump it up. Also, I found for me it was really so if I fancy a chocolate or something like that, because I had a chocolate protein shake, I never really had this afterthought like, oh, I want a chocolate bar now. Yeah, so I had the hit of chocolate. I'm like, okay, I'm fine now. So you kind of get on with your day and forget about it. So it can be, there is some kind of benefits in that. Cons, again, it's still processed product. Yeah, so it's been broken down, moleculars, everything small. So for your body, it will be quite relatively easy to digest and absorb. If we compare it to, let's say, a piece of chicken, by the time you had to chew that through, it sits in the stomach, you feel sometimes physically like I'm full. Yeah, so when it's with the liquid calories, you not always have the same feeling. Half an hour later, 20 minutes later, you're like, okay, what for dinner? I still need to eat. Yeah, so also some of the protein powders can be packed with sweeteners, additives, gums, and all this stuff which if you're trying to stay away or limit, it's something I would pay attention as well. And quite often, because you have to pay for the marketing, or sometimes you look to similar products, one is much cheaper than another is much more expensive. You think the more expensive will work better, like it's not always the fact. So if kind of take the protein shakes and powders aside for now, what I normally would recommend to focus on first is start with focusing on the whole food and aim to hit 120, 150 grams of protein per day just through real meal. It might depend on male, female, what is your total calories overall, and instead of kind of maybe if you don't want to go like in the grams, focus that 30% of your calories come from the protein. So if you use that as a guideline, it's relatively easy hit. If you're already tracking, you can have a look what food have most protein and just double up on that, or kind of push this area a little bit more. As an example, adding a little bit of extra chicken with the dinner, 100 grams, can be easy, and that will bump your protein quite relatively easy. Same like having a breakfast, add extra egg or something, egg whites, again you can bump the protein intake relatively easy with each meal. And if you focusing to construct your meals around the protein, breakfast, lunch, dinner, or even snacks, and if you're focusing on keeping that in mind, you should find that getting this kind of into this area can be relatively easy. Having the protein snacks like Greek yogurts, jerky, boiled eggs, cottage cheese. Again, cottage cheese probably not my favorite thing, just like eating from the pot, but if I add it to the meal somewhere on the side and it's get mixed in with the rest of the food, it's actually quite nice and this creamy texture. So maybe work and test it with different meals, see what works really well, and this way you shouldn't have a problem with hitting the protein. So Should you avoid protein powders? Absolutely not. It's still decent option. I would just not rely on that. Yeah, use it as a backup, but not foundation. If you feel that you need to, without the protein powders, you're not hitting your protein goal through the food, that's where I would look first. How I can adjust my meals, how I can adjust my portions so I can hit this protein a little bit easier. However, I think that previously the ones which I did use, protein powders and protein works, I have one bag which I bought about 3 months ago, but only I've been using, like let's say I'm making banana bread or something, I add a scoop of protein powder just to bump this protein content, but also because of all the sweetness and stuff like that. Again, I might don't need to use some extra sugars or something, so it's get a little bit of extra flavor. And when I binge in the evening eating banana bread, at least I feel like, okay, at least it's higher protein than just stuffing my face on the cheesecake. So hopefully that helped. And yeah, if you have any questions, let me know. Bye.